Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Ron Maulero. I come from Lombok, West Nusa Tenggara, and now I study German language, German education at German Department, Universitas Negeri Malang. Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like you to present your paper for about 3 minutes.
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. So, in the era of global development 4.0, Indonesia seeks to maximize learning to create a society that creative, innovative, productive, and able to contribute to the life of society, nation, and state. In the goal of fourth SDGs, with the implementation of the 2013 curriculum by teaching French languages at the school level, it continues to be improved. One of them is German language. Throughout of teachers in Indonesia, only 10 until 15% teachers use technology in classroom learning process. In fact, the use of the digital learning media is very helpful for teachers to improve the quality of learning, to understand the concept of learning, to listen, speak, and read. However, in this situation, German language learning media with spreads context cause learning ineffective and inefficient. Therefore, I am Ron Maulero to present Shona Up, a digital learning platform.
Thank you so much. Basti, do you want to start questions?
Please tell me.
From this project, my lecture, my docent helped me about first step, like I must to analyze about the problem around of the school in Malang that learning teaching German in school. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you have tried and tested these apps to the students.
Yeah, right. Yes.
How was the experience of using the apps from the students?
Yeah, and okay. Thank you for the question. Now I do asistensi mengajar in SMA N8, and then I have used this app to my student, and then the feedbacks from the students are good, and they are very interesting with this app, because they learn not just about one of 4 German language skills, but also about the German culture, and then they feel interesting, and then yeah, like that.
Okay, thank you, Mas. Yes. What makes your apps as efficient and effective ways to teach German compared to previous strategies? How do you make it make to that conclusions? How do you conclude that your apps is like a breakthrough in this one?
Okay,
so
thank you.
What efficient or effective points of your app ideas in it?
Okay, thank you for the question. When we see the app have been excited, now there's very much of learn media application, but they are not 4 language skills include in one app, and then one app for one skill, I mean, and then, but in my app, Shona app, there are 4 skills, 4 German language skills include in one app, and then not just about 4 German language skills, but also about the learn German culture. Yeah, there's my opinion.
And what about the applicability, Mas? Do you think this kind of app will be widely accepted by Indonesian students, or do you think there will be problems in it? Can you imagine something like that? What do you think?
Okay, in my research, I have found that many apps about learn German is not adapted with the 2013 curriculum or national and international curriculum. And then I think with my app, the national and international curriculum for learn German is adapted with this app. And then I think there is some benefit for the student, include that first step to learn German, and then also about the adapted to the curriculum, national and international curriculum for German education.
Yeah. Thank you. Can you give me an example of how this app is adapted to curriculum 2013? Can you give an example?
Okay, like in German, like in German education, there are six levels from A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. In this app, there is some 4 German language skills, and in the several skills there are some thema, and then the thema is adapted with the curriculum. Like the first one in 10 class, there is the material about family, and then the second or the 11th class, there are some thema about school and etc.
All right. Bu Hasti, any question?
I guess that's all. We can go to part 2.
Okay.
So there will be a topic for you to think about in 1 minute. You can jot down your ideas if necessary, and then you will talk about the topic for about 3 minutes.
Okay.
Here is the topic.
Yep, 1 minute starts from now. Okay, 1 minute.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. From this topic, I would like to say that racism never die, because we know that in Indonesia there are some judgment that that woman can reach very much work, and then a man as a stronger man, and then that is make some I think that is like a racism. But and when we see that in Papua, there is happening until now about the racism without a religion or some religion has been very much in Papua, and then come another religion, and then there's some judgment to the minority of the some religion. I think there is some racism in Indonesia, and when we see to the words, there is also this topic until now happening. And then from this problem, we can see that the equality of the position about man or woman, and then like black man, I think black man or white man, there is still happening until now. And then the first of all, we can attend or we can see of the rules or the regulation in our state or our nation, and that's of there's we don't and I'm sorry, we don't we cannot to judgment someone beside of she or he is black man or white man, and then we sold to brave, and then to make ourselves into the several things in Indonesia, or in wherever we stay or we live. And then I think that is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, 2 minutes 56 seconds. Thank you, Bu Hasti.
Okay, so round, what people should do to minimize racism?
Okay, from I have an experience in my competition. There is like the university in Java is greater than the Sumatra or Kalimantan University, and then from this problem, I say that there is not just greater or not greater about in this competition. We should be brave, and then we can discuss, and we can make some group from another university, and then from this problem I make some group in WhatsApp, and then we collaborate from Java, Kalimantan, Sumatra, etc. And then we discussion and make some innovation together. Yeah, like that.
Do you have any idea on how to minimize racism in your application, in your apps program?
I think from the feature German culture. Yeah, I think because in German there is not much about racism, and then when the student learn with my app from the feature German culture, the student will be know about how racism happening in German, and then I think the student can learn more about the racism with this app. But the teacher also should teach the student wherever the teacher in classroom or around of school. I think like that.
Right. Okay. So my question would be like, do you think university or education in general also has a role to create racism or not? Or education is always having a positive impact that it try to decrease racism? Or is there any case in which do you think like education is also part of factor which create racism?
Okay, thank you for the question. In my experience, I see in my university, in Universitas Negeri Malang, there is some case about racism, and then I would like to say that education is the factor of racism, because in my experience there is some people come from Papua, and then the another people come from Jakarta, and then in this case the people from the Jakarta say that the people from the Papua, it is black and then ugly and then and etc. Then I think there is some case in my university that mean that education is the factor of racism. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you think education can be driven to fight against racism, to make students or lecturers or everyone else related to the education institutions to be not racist, something like that?
Okay, I think we study about pendidikan kewarganegaraan in University of Malang. There's some value from these lessons. We should be spread something or someone, and then we can minimize the racism in our university. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
You can go back to the main session.
Bentar. Oke, ini kita tinggal nunggu peserta berikutnya gitu aja ya. Oke, kalau gitu tak coba lengkapi dulu.
Good morning, Angie. Hold on a minute, yes?
Good morning, Mom Hesti and Mr. Nanang.
Morning.
Mom and Mister, I'm so sorry if this room is very noisy because I have got in campus mengajar battery. Now I'm in the school.
Yeah,
I'm so
that's
sorry.
fine. Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know. It's okay.
Okay. Can we start, Pak Nanang?
Yes.
All right, congratulations, Angie. Now we are in speaking part 1. I'd like you to introduce yourself, please.
Okay, thank you, Mom. Let me introduce myself. Before that, thanks for attention and thanks this opportunity. Now let me introduce myself. My name is Anggi Wahyu Rahmadani. I am an undergraduate of social science. My hobby are writing and riding. The first of all, I like writing and writing a poem. And then I usually active in the campus like the organization, competition, and then even organizer and so on. I think now about my hobby can improve to ability and to increase our ability and then soft skill in this era. Now I think I have many motivation in my life because I have a big dream and then I want to realize one by one. So I hope to give the effort to myself and then I want to be a part of my process. Thank you, Mom and Mr.
Thank you, Angie. And now, can you please present your paper for about 3 minutes?
I'm so sorry, Mom. My to reply this question.
There is no question yet. You need to present your paper in 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mom. Yes. I want to listen about my paper. Then I have like writing about the building character. And then this era, I think now writing about sustainable of development goals. And then the sustainable provides rhetoric regarding the importance of education. Now for the future, which is expected to implementation to well become the main function and rule, then sustainable development goals, one of rules and print cable national generation. And tracing of the currents of education is improved of complex can be seen from character education. And then this problem, I think writing about the paper, what this role, character buildings, and then how is character roles and motivate about the students, and then how are efforts character education from Ki Hajar Dewantara perspective in achieving in sustainable development goals. Enough here for my present about my paper.
Okay. So how did you come first with this idea of project?
Yeah. This my project from to character education. This my idea to think about to empathize from my culture habitually in this school, and then this can be impact to study and then to implementation the character building in this school, and then this from being a urgent to research it. So I interested to research about the main idea about the character education, like according to Ki Hajar Dewansara perspective.
Character education have been there for a long time. What do you think the main problems why it is so hard to be implemented?
The problem formulating this there are three. The first is the rule. I think rules about the building character is very important to impact this school. The first of all, this being to study our students to perspective in this era, and then second, character education relate to improve to SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals, and then third, effort the implementation character education from Ki Hajar Dewansara. So this idea is very important to research, development, and implementation how to become a education character in this school.
Okay, can you give some illustrations on Ki Hajar Dewantara's point related to character building, which is in line with our sustainable development goal? Can you give an example?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Nanang. I want to ask this question. Now, the character education proclaimed in learning is not only function or role socialization, but also the principle in implementation, the problems too. Course in become in dilemma about curriculum. Also, the concept is a construction in order to support habituation to good morals and the previous quality study with their potential. And now the principle or motive, the Ki Hajar Dewantara's perspective about character education like that. Ing ngarsa sung tulodo, ing madya mangun karsa, and tuturi handayani. The third is very important and become a complement or completed the education and implementation of a curriculum. The first of all, Merdeka Belajar curriculum or independent study in the curriculum in this era. Enough, Mr. Nanang.
Yes, thank you so much. I would like to ask more about, so do you think that Ki Hajar Dewantara's idea of, for example, like Tutpuri Handayani is still relevant toward the achieving SDG at the moment? Because, you know, it's been like almost, you know, a very long time since the idea, and do you think it's still relevant at the moment?
Yes, this related about Ingarsa Suntoldo, Ing Madya Mangun Karsa, and Tuturi Handayani. This is a goal to character education. And then the implementation about the third points of motto, and then to implementation about the moral value like that democracy, social responsibility, intelligent, emotional, discipline, to build character, and then according with a principle. And then beside that, to improve quality in effort to realize, and then to SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and then the aspect in education. I think so. Enough, Mr. Nanang,
Yes,
from my
thank you.
opinion. Yeah.
One last question, sorry. Do you think Ki Hajar Dewantara's ideas are something unique to Indonesian, or you cannot find it? Do you think you cannot find it in other country, or do you think other country also have similar ideas? What makes it special to Indonesian?
Thank you, Mr. Nanang. I want to ask this question about the character quality assurance in education and learning in our country. exactly in Indonesia will be important education to evenly disrupt learning supplies and will have an impact on the quality research. According to research before that, tracing the current portrait of education is a concept quite complex and can be seen education management, education quality, equality, and then however, this perspective relative character education in to the most moral and value to portrait from national generation. This is very unique to research this topic about that.
Okay, thank you. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Renang.
Thank you,
Sama-sama.
Anggi. You can
Thank
go back
you.
to the main room.
Ma'am Hesti.
Bu Asti,
Anggi, you need to leave the room.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ma'am Hesti and Mr. Nanang.
ya sama-sama.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Yang si Angginya ini barusan part 2-nya nggak usah, Bu.
Hah?
Part 2-nya nggak usah.
Paduan.
Part 2 yang ini, part 2 ini. Topik.
Terus aku sudah tahu.
Oke lah.
Timbangannya, Pak. Pak Nanang kok waduh ya range-nya sama aku.
Yang mana?
Lihatlah yang di part 1, yang di anak nomor 1.
Rolero. Bagus-bagus tuh. Enggak, ini masih belum tak sesuaikan, nanti tak ubah lagi kok, Bu.
Oh ya wes.
Itu tadi kan
Arte wes keceblon, soalnya kan lihat dari yang di fakultas kemarin itu Ron Molero itu termasuk bagus sudah dibandingkan anak-anak yang lain.
Nah, ini soalnya masih bandingin sama ideal mahasiswa ideal bahasa Inggris, tapi nanti tak sesuaikan setelah melihat seluruh 7 orang ini.
Loh.
Oke.
Ini recorded nggak, Pak?
Ini masih recorded.
Oke, alright.
Halo Fatima.
Hello, good morning, Miss and Mr.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you, Fatima? How do you feel?
Alhamdulillah, I'm great and so powerful.
Powerful. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thanks for the time, the educators. I am Fatima Soraya. I am from Malang, and now I am learning at the chemistry majority from Mathematics and Science faculty, Malang State University.
Okay. Can you please present your paper for about 3 minutes?
I'm so sorry about my paper that I have for the Pilmapres, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My paper is about the material chemistry, which is as we know that the pollution in our environment is being so worse right now, and one of those is because of the fuel oil, and one of the fuel oil is this. And right now, I am developing the method that using the PET or polyethylene, which is one of the plastic waste in our environment, to make it as the adsorbent adsorbent for the desulfurization of the solar fuel. So based on the introduction that as we know, the PET waste is getting higher in our environment, and also the pollution, the pollution is getting worse because of the sulfur dioxide and also carbon dioxide, that it is because of the desulfurization of the solar fuel that has not been maximalized. Based on that topic, based on that problems, I do the research about how to make the PET the PET waste and how to make it to the to get terephthalic acid, which is from the terephthalic acid we can make the Mil 53 chromium, which is one of the metal organic framework, which is the chemistry material in nowadays, and being the focused on the chemistry scientists in this era. And by this, we can, Mil 53 chromium is a great adsorbent because it can it has a high flexibility. So with this high flexibility, it can with high flexibility, it can absorb the absorb the sulfur in the solar fuel maximal, because it can become bigger than its normal its normal position or its normal size for until 40%. And because of this flexibility, it can absorb the solar fuel, the sulfur in the solar fuel maximal. So when the sulfur of the solar is getting lower, it can be great for our environment, because if there is some sulfur in the solar fuel, and when we burn it, it will create the sulfur dioxide that can become the pollutant in the air, and it also can make the temperature of the air become higher, and slowly it can increase the global warming. So based on this problem, I think that my topic in here can be the great solution to support the SDG 2030 to for the eclim problems, which is, as we know, that our global our Earth is getting warmer, and now we are facing the global warming problems, which is one of the what of the cause is because of the sulfur dioxide and also carbon dioxide that is produced from the fuel oil that has not been desulfurizated maximal. So that's why I believe that this topic and my solution is great to support the eclim problems and also the global warming problems in nowadays era. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. Why haven't people come up with this idea before?
Because thank you for the question. Why people came up with this idea before? Because as we know,
why haven't they come up with this idea before?
Why have not yet? Yes. I think because the desulfurization method in Indonesia is still use the kinetic method, which is it is actually not optimal for the desulfurization of the fuel oil, especially solar fuel, because it only can absorb the sulfur in its sulfur only, while as we know that the sulfur is also can be found as the organic sulfur, which is the kinetic method that used in Indonesia right now widely, is not maximal, or is cannot absorb those sulfur organic optimized in bit as example as DBT or BT in the sulfur in the solar fuel like that.
Will it cost much to separate sulfur from the solar fuel?
Sorry.
Will it cost much?
Oh, okay, thank you. No, of course not. As we know that one of the material that we use is the PET waste, where we, as we know that we can get it easily in our from our environment, and also the material, other materials such as Cl3, H2O is not a high cost material, so it would not get high materials. And also the method that I use is grinding method, which is the grinding method is do not use the solvents, so it can lower the cost that we need like that. Thank you.
Interesting, thank you.
Right. So I have some questions. First of all, how do you think your plan, how applicability of your plan? Could you discuss a little bit about the applicability? Like how many, I mean, what potentials do we have so this kind of proposal will benefit us?
Okay, thank you for the question. How applicability, based on the literature that I have learned about, it is applicable because firstly about the terephthalic acid from the PET waste, one of the method that we used based on the journal has produced the terephthalic acid and has decomposed the PET waste until 90%, and also the as we know that and when we use the terephthalic acid to produce the Mil53 chromium as the adsorbent in our research, is the material that used can be found easily in Indonesia, and it has the low cost, and also the method that used is grinding, that it do not need solvent, and also it is the nowadays method. So I think that it can has the high applicability, and also I hope it after this it can be produced in the industry aspect like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also just basic questions related to the urgency. Do you think it's urgent at the moment to apply your proposal on developing Mil53 chromium rather than other solutions related to how we can absorb sulfur? And what makes this proposal is better than other ideas?
Okay, thank you for the question. I believe that it has the high urgency because of the two basic aspects. The first aspect is about the PET waste. As we know that PET is used in Indonesia widely, and also so it produced the PET waste highly in Indonesia. So we need to find the process to degrade the PET waste, as we know that PET is non-degradable in our environment, in the nature. And also the second problem one is about the desulfurization of the solar fuel that has not been optimized in Indonesia, and while we know that in Indonesia solar fuel is still used widely, as we know that the technology, the new technology based on electricity is hasn't been used wide in Indonesia. Our people do not use the Tesla technology widely, and still use the solar fuel widely in Indonesia. So the use of the solar fuel in Indonesia is so high, and we have to maximize the desulfurization of the solar fuel in Indonesia. So based on those two problems, I think that my idea is bring to the problem, the environment problem in Indonesia, to first reduce the PET waste in Indonesia, and the second is to reduce the problem of the eclim that is due to the one of the cause is the less optimized method of desulfurization of the solar fuels that used widely in Indonesia, like that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Now we are going to go to part 2. I will ask you to prepare this topic for 1 minute and then talk about it in 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. 1 minute start from now, right, Miss?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You can start now.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I believe that in nowadays era, as we know that the internet is used widely in whole the world, the use of internet is important, and we of course need to access the internet because we get much benefit, and we also can give many benefits to other people. Firstly, we can get many information from the internet easily, even though especially for our knowledge about, especially it's for common knowledge about, such as the news about what happened in the corner of the world, and also we can get the knowledge about the majority that we take, such as I'm as the chemistry scientist really need the internet to access the international journals to develop my research, especially in the chemistry. And also I believe it also can connect us with the people around the world, so we can get the better communication, and also we can get more benefits, which as for example, if I am an entrepreneur, I of course need the internet to communicate me with my client, or with the company that I want to build the relationship, the relationship in those entrepreneur, so I can get the more profit. But also maybe some people think that living without internet is better. The advantages when we do not access the internet is, as we know that in nowadays era, many people is conducted with internet, and it's like a drugs. So people use the internet 24/7, even when they gather in a place, they do not talk one another, and they are being busy with their phone, their gadget, and this make the relation between people become reduced, like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Another question?
Yes. Do you think in what way we can minimize the problem of, social disconnectedness? So like you have mentioned before, like we stay with other people, but then we are not connected with them. How we can stay with the internet, but then also at the same time minimize the problem of social disconnectedness? Do you have any idea?
Okay, thank you. As we know that people have realized about the problems of the internet, that the internet can build the disconnected between the social interaction. Nowadays we found some technologies such as time reminder that when people has used their social media or gadgets in some minutes, or they can make decision how long they will use their social media or their gadget in one day. So when the reminder come, they can reduce and they can put their phone to do their activity in their real world. And besides that, I think that it is the solution of this problem is based on our family as our basic education environment. As we know that when parents, especially who is a role model of the children, can reduce the use of the phone in a house, in their home, it can decrease the disconnection, the social disconnection that caused by the gadget and internet. When how parents tell to their children that social connection is also important, and how to prevent their children to not access internet 24/7. It's very important to put their habits in the future to reduce the social disconnection that caused by internet, like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Suppose you were to live without internet for a week, what would you do?
Okay, thank you. If I live without internet for a week, I will firstly I will enjoy the nature, because I think that one of the thing that people lost because of the use of internet the most is how they understanding the nature, understanding what happened in their environment, and understanding what happened in their social life. I will build more communication with my neighborhood, with my family. I will build a quality time with them, and also I will optimize my time to get the information from the book, because as we know that internet is have two function: communication and also information. So when I do not access the internet, when it means that maybe I lost the communication and also information function of the internet. So I will try to find the way how to get those two out of internet. So I will rebuild my communication. I will go outside, go some places that I can meet the positive people to get more lesson from them. And also I will read book more, and I will enjoying the nature more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatima Soraya. You did a
Yes.
great job. You can go back to the main room.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Hasti, and also Mr. Nanang.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Good luck.
Ya, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Wah, pinter sampai uapi. Uapi iki.
Iya.
Iki lah
Cuma karena
kencang
aku nggak
ya.
begitu ngerti kimia aja, jadi agak apa ya, nggak begitu, beberapa poin missing. Tapi idenya bagus sebenarnya.
Bagus ini Pak, dia visioner dan sangat praktikal.
Kalau dibandingkan sama anak bahasa Inggris, misalkan kayak Bunga, anak ini gimana Bu, kira-kira?
Bagusan ini jauh. Ini kalau
gitu.
di FS menang nomor 1.
Memang kontennya bagus dia.
Iya. Ininya juga caranya menjelaskan. Halo,
Ya.
Queen Kuma. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you please introduce yourself?
All right, thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Queen Kusuma Berena, and now I'm a psychology student in 4th semester. And also this is my first year for offline class. Before I just have 1.5 year for online class. I think that's all, ma'am.
Okay. Can you please talk about, sorry, it should go back to this. Can you please present about your paper for 3 minutes?
All right, thank you, ma'am. So right now, I would like to talk and explain about my ideas, which discuss about Rekat. This is about the shelter and recovery home for women victims of violence with procedure based on digital system. But before of all, I would like to share the fact that we have right now. This is about 1 of 3 women in the world have ever get violence. This is such irony when they get a lot of struggle to get their right. But always, as we know, there is a way to solve every problem. As we can do is about build Rekat, which can help us, especially for women, that Rekat orders 3 services. First one, Rekat for the center of complaint. And the second one is counseling service. And also the third one is support center for women's victim violence to get their justice. And all right, this is what I can explain about my paper. And I'm sorry if I said mistaken word, and thank you.
1 minute for 50 seconds. All right. Can you please elaborate more?
Yes, I can. So Rekat is also built about how we want to have gender equality, and we want to make this problem about gender equality solved, because as we know, women in this society in this era right now always have struggle to have their justice because of society, and they don't have support from society. And this is why we want to explain, and we want to make Rekat to make this problem solved. And also we hope that women can have their justice, and also have their peaceful life, and also have a gender equality, as what we want to make a sustainability goals number 7. No, I mean number 5. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now, do you have any idea how to make women be brave to report to, well, the injustice that happened to them without being revealed or without being blamed, without being the center of attention from other people?
I think that women have to speak up, and also have to being brave to to solve this one. And also women also have to be aware because they deserve to have this one right. I think that's all, ma'am.
Back to the question. How can you make them reveal what happened to them without being exposed? I mean, without their identity being exposed, without being, yeah, the spot of attention and so on.
All right, thank you, ma'am. How to make this one that we can do for women is also about have a community. I have community together, and also because if we make a community for women, we can have this one without exposed closely and also clearly, and also we can have this solve problem solving, and also yeah, that's all, man.
Okay, Banana.
Thank you so much. Is the issue of gender equality and justice for the women, as you suggest before, is urgent? Do you think it's urgent? In what way it's urgent?
Yes, thank you, sir. Gender equality is really urgent right now, because if we don't have this one peaceful for women, we will have the inequality for gender, and this one make women struggle, and also they will not have a peaceful life, and they will not feel safe for during their life. They will be in dangerous social, and they will feel unsafe in everywhere, and this is really can impact their mental health as well. So that's why this is really important for them, because if they have a mental health problem, it also can impact to their physical problem as well. I think that's all.
Okay. Next, the second question will be how I'm interested to know your future plans. How do you plan with this Rakat on how you can market this product, or how you can make people understand this and it can help more people with their social gender equality issue?
First of all, my plan, I would like to introduce my program Rekat in social media such as Instagram or TikTok, and it's also to build intention for young people as an agent of change, so they can join together for us to have to build Rekat, to make a community. And also after that, I would like to socialize this one Rekat to women and also social, so they can know that Rekat will help them. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are going to go to part 2. You will have to have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you need to present the topic in about 3 minutes. And we are going to ask you questions about that one as well. Okay, here is the topic. 1 minute is from right now to think about the answers. Yes, you can start from right now.
All right, thank you. So in my opinion, business social media presence is really important, and it's not about just profit-oriented one. It's not about just supporting, because we can build self-branding that we can help us to survive in this society and in this era, because from social media, this is the way that we can show our profile to others by setting our profile better. And this is why important to build our branding, to know to introduce our image to others. Thank you.
Okay. If we talk about your business in the future, for example, suppose, how would you present your business?
All right, thank you, ma'am. So how to present my business is such a build an Instagram feed for introduce our business, and we can build our product that we want to make a business, and also what we want to have a business is also have to have an impact to others. So that's all, mom.
Ananang, over to
Thank you. When you mentioned about the social media presence of the business, you mentioned that we try to get people, as many people as possible, to understand and recognize our business, for example. Then do you think it's this is my personal opinion, it could be like too profit-oriented motive for this business? How we can add non-profit strategies into our social media presence? So how we can not only profitably link our social media with our business, but also what kind of goals which we can put into our social media presence, non-profit goals. What kind of non-profit presence do you think we can put in our social media?
All right, thank you, sir. So non-profit oriented one, we can build such a volunteer that this is the way that from intention from people. So we want to have a non-profit oriented social media. We have to know what is the goals that social media want, so people can join and influence from our social media, that this is about also social impact, so they can have this impact for them. They can feel it, they can get the result for them. And also because of this is a volunteer and also from a social program, the people or the participant of volunteer from social media also don't need a non-profit oriented one. So this is my answer, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I guess that's all from us. Thank you, Queen Kusuma. You can go back to the main room.
Thank you.
Bulat deh Kak Isa mengekspresikan ide.
Ya, idenya bagus, cuman kurang di apa ya,
Iya.
mengelaborasikannya dia nggak bisa. Bagus-bagus anak-anak bahasa Inggrisnya ini.
Halo, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Can you please introduce yourselves?
Okay, hello. My name is Salva Almeida Putri. You can call me Salva. I was born in Batu in June 2002, and now I'm 20 years old. I live at Batu City, and I am studying at Universitas Negeri Malang in Department of Sports Science. My hobby is swimming and diving. Because my hobbies, I got some achievement like in the last year on December 2021, I joined national championship diving and I got 2 bronze medal. So this is a little about me that I can tell to you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Can you
Salva.
please present your paper for about 3 minutes?
My paper, this is about the effectiveness of swimming to reduce obesity at child in the elementary school. Why I choose this? 1, because I am a swimmer, and 2, because I see obesity rate in a child have increased, and I see people with obesity have many danger diseases like diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and many the other. So I wish with swimming can reduce the obesity rate, especially for a children in elementary school. So I wish with my essay can be fulfilled suitable development goals number 3, this about good health and well-being.
Okay, Salva. Swimming to reduce obesity. Okay, if I, from the common people who doesn't know how effective it will be, if I compare swimmers and runners, runners usually have slimmer bodies than yeah, swimmers. So how can you explain that?
Yeah, I read in journal that swimming can reduce obesity because swimming use all of all part of body. So disease can make metabolism in our body increase. So with this, calorie in our body will burn. Now, with this, people with obesity can be normal body.
Okay. From my understanding that obesity is influenced by many factors. So it is including the hormones, the metabolism, heredity, and lifestyle. I mean the diet. So how can you say that swimming alone is effective to reduce the obesity?
Yeah, because in this era, I think people have a sedentary lifestyle. So I think with swimming, because swimming is, I think this is not boring sport because have force style. So I think swimming can make people interested to doing this. So yeah, I think this is make them to practice swimming.
Okay, thank you. Over to you,
Okay.
Paranan.
Thank you, Salva. Some questions. The first one would be, is obesity urgent issue for us at the moment? So you propose like we need to have like these swimming activities to reduce obesity?
Yes, I think this is urgent because in a child, especially for a child in elementary school, when we child have obesity, there, I think in the next level at young at old ke atas, we have obesity lah. In obesity have a dangerous disease like diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and disease can make the people with obesity have death rate more because obesity.
Right. Do you think it's feasible to, at the moment we have a like pandemic situations, and do you think it's feasible to promote swimming for students? Because it's like two different things. We have a pandemic at the same time, and you propose swimming, which is quite in the past people consider it's like a risky activity during pandemic situations. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is have a risk but I have read some news that when we swimming, the coronavirus not spread in the pool because this evaporate in the water. So I think this is a safe sport, I think, during the pandemic.
Okay, thank you, Salva.
Welcome.
All right, we are going to go to part 2 now. You'll have 1 minute to think about the answers, and you will have to present the topic for about 3 minutes. Here is the topic, 1 minute starting from right now to think about the answers. Yes, you can start from right now.
Yeah. So because I think people today people more individual because technology of our from our gadget. So I think this is so I think parent must with restriction the child to use phone. So I think this is, and the parent can give the child more activity, physical activity like sport, like swimming, runner, or football, playing football. And I think this is make the child or people more lebih bisa berinteraksi with another people. when the people don't use the phone so dengan lama. So I think this is dengan mengisi kegiatan mereka dengan physical activity.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank you. Now we are talking about mental health. Do you think that people are going to be mentally healthier if they are not on the social media?
I think social media is very bad for our mental health because in social media we look other people. It make especially for me, it make me want to ingin meniru gaya hidup yang lebih tinggi because of social media. So I think this is not social media very bad from mental health.
Okay, Pananang.
Yes, thank you. So you mentioned that we should give our children's our kids have more outdoor activities to so they can stay sociable with other friends. However, at the same time, we can see that internet is unavoidable. We cannot avoid internet. As they grow up, they will need internet. Do you have any ideas on how we can stay in the internet, but then we are not feeling lonely, we are not feeling miserable and individual? We can get connected and sociable while being in the internet. Do you have any ideas on that one?
My idea is we use internet, but we must go. Jadi kita harus tetap follow physical activity in outdoor. So this is a balancing from internet and physical activity. So kita nggak boleh cenderung cuman ke satu, because kita cenderung ke internet, we make a people more individual. So I think the two of component must balance.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Salva.
Thank you so much. You can leave the room.
Thank you.
Oh, yang lain pada belum ngasih nilai di Excel-nya.
Iya. Cuman Bu Yusnita yang udah.
Iya.
Nggak berani paling. Masih mau pikir-pikir dulu.
Menurutku kalau Excel kan bisa di otak-atik di kepala lagi. Jadi sampai.
Iya. Tadi kan tak banding-bandingkan. Oh, ada yang harusnya nilainya lebih tinggi lagi, ada yang harusnya nilainya lebih rendah, diubah-ubah sebelum diambil bandingnya.
Betul. Cuman kadang-kadang kepengaruh dengan ideal bahasa Inggrisnya harusnya kayak gimana itu loh, kadang-kadang yang kalau saya kesulitannya itu kadang-kadang. Harusnya kan enggak ya.
Apa Pak?
Kepengaruh dengan ideal, kalau misalnya presentasi dalam bahasa Inggris harusnya idealnya kayak gini, kayak gitu loh. Kepengaruh itu sehingga kemudian skornya itu bisa jadi jauh lebih turun daripada skor misalkan dia dinilai berdasarkan skillnya itu. Apa ya, ke ideal penutur bahasa Inggris kayak gitu loh kalau saya kadang-kadang pengaruh ya, ada sedikit lah pengaruhnya. Oke, kita punya Rani Destia Wahyuningsi. Hai
Halo,
Rani.
selamat pagi Bapak Ibu.
Good
Selamat
morning, Rani.
pagi.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Rani,
Yes.
can you introduce yourself?
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Rani Desiawainingsi. I'm from Trenggalek and now I live in Malang. I'm from Economic and Business Faculty, especially in Economic Development Department.
Okay, thank you. Can you please present your paper for about 3 minutes?
Okay, thank you very much. So my paper is about green tax. Green tax is some you know, like this is from the country, just like I'm sorry. Okay. So green tax is basically like a tax. This is just a tax for the industry that have a lot of externality for the country and the people around them. So this one, I mean, green tax is asking for the industry and cost for their asking cost for their I mean, like asking cost for their productivity. I mean, their productivity is gain a lot of like what is it like pollutions. So it makes their environment is not good enough. So I think this one green tax is better for this country. And in my paper, I also have compared green tax in few country like China and then Singapore and then Portugal. And this from Singapore we can elaborate them, like maybe we can use one's place in Indonesia to be the place for, you know, like examples place. I mean, in that place we can apply this green tax, and if in that place success, we can use another place to you know, like to apply this this green tax for Indonesia. So I think we can do in one place, and if that place is success, we can do it for all the places in Indonesia. And from China, I can say that in China is the biggest part of pollution in this world. So they apply the tax, especially green tax, and that's pretty success, I think. And in Indonesia, we can use it too. So in Portugal, they have a committee for green tax, and it makes the green tax better in there. I think if we can collaborate all of idea in this country, especially the potential green tax can apply in Indonesia, I think we can make environmentally sustainable development in Indonesia. I think this one like green tax is really urgent, and that's why I make this paper. And because I think Indonesia need to be more concerned about their environment, and not just growth in the economic, but also in their environmental. So this green tax not only for the economic growth, but also for environment and also for society. And I think for the first application, we will face so many rejection from our society, but in the long term, we can make Indonesian economic and Indonesian environment and all of them better, I think, with this green tax. So with green tax, I hope Indonesia will get more and more concern, and we can reach SDGs like no poverty, and then we can keep our our income from tax for Indonesians infrastructure in the small city. And I think that's make our distribution better. And for the green tax, I think this one is pretty rare in the world. And if Indonesia can make this one, I think we can more one step better than another country. So for the green tax, we can make it for Indonesians. We can make it for Indonesian society. We can socialize it from the country. I think I mean government should socialize this one to Indonesians people, so they will understand how much this green tax can make our country better, I think. And for Indonesians, I think they have to be more open-minded, and they have to studying about green tax and another tax, and how it can make us more productive with new infrastructure maybe. So we have to study more and more about green tax. And for the government, besides they socialize it, they have to show how the green tax can make our country better. I think that's really important to us. And
Thank you. Okay, time is up. Now, I would like you to answer the questions from us. I'll give the first question to Pak Nanang.
Okay, thank you. My first question, what is the status quo practice in Indonesia? Can you explain a little bit, and why do you think it's urgent? So is it, I do not really clearly, it seems like you plan to propose that you want to apply green tax, but what is the status quo in Indonesia? And then why do you think it's urgent to apply green tax? Thank you.
okay, so basically there's so many regulation in Indonesia about environment, like maybe UU PPLH and Undang-Undang Nomor 46, and there is so many more. But in fact, Indonesia not really applied it. From the green tax, the government give it to regional government. So they have like the power to do that, but they don't they don't do that because maybe there's so many people doesn't like it. And I think this is my my paper talking about the urgence, how can we use that that we can apply, we can apply that tax, and how the strategy to make it to make Indonesian people more aware about that one. And I think the thing that we can do is like have a place in Indonesia to be example to do the this green tax. So with this place, if that place is success to apply this green tax, then Indonesia can apply it for all of Indonesians people, in every province in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you. Another question is that I'm interested to know about the feasibility of such plan. So do you think is it possible to apply this one in Asia? Because we already know that the government has imposed many types of taxes towards the citizens. And then if they add another type of tax, what could be the citizens' reaction? And then what could be the steps the government could do to minimize the negative impact of such applications? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I think that is the sure thing that society will reject the plan, or they will get mad or something. But this is the big challenge for Indonesia, of course. And for that, I think government should socialize this program more, and they have to show the society how how the impact of these regulations. So for like I have said, like we have to make an example place, so they will know that this regulation is lead us to a better economic growth and environment, of course. And as Indonesian citizens, we have to open our mind to why this country apply this regulation. We have to know and not just judge the country because they ask for tax. And as we know that there is one country in the world that have the highest tax in the world, but they really advance, and they really happy with that. So we can what is it like we can like we can see that country as the example for us. So so we can open our mind to this regulation, I think.
Okay, thank you, Rani.
Okay, now from my understanding is that it will impact the entrepreneurs, the big factories, the businessmen. And do you think that they should be freed from other types of retribution that already exist, like the levies for liquid waste, AMDAL examination, business place permits, and other types that have been burdening entrepreneurs? Should the government compromise with this?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I think the government should do that because once again, this is not just about the economic, but we also concern about the environment, about society. So this regulation is not only to make like entrepreneur well-being, but also all of Indonesians people and citizens well-being. So I think this one is pretty urgent for us.
Okay, now we are going to go to part 2. You will have to have 1 minute to think about the answers of a topic, and then you will have to present your opinion about the topic for about 3 minutes. 1 minute starts from right now.
Okay, 1 minute enough. You can start it now, Fanny.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. So the first question is about the advantage and disadvantage of either imprisonment and capital punishment. So I think the advantage of imprisonment is they lose their freedom, and I think we can make that one as their what is it, like their I mean, we can make we can make they to we can make them to know what is my 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 mistakes. So I have imprisonment in this place, like that. But in capital punishment, I think we can take their capital, so they lose their money, or their money or something like that. So I think with capital punishment, it makes long term, so they will get deterrent with their mistakes. So uh, we can apply it too, I think. And for the disadvantage of imprisonment is maybe it not it's not too hard from them. So I afraid that they will do the same mistakes again. And for the capital punishment, for the disadvantage is maybe uh, we can make people with their family uh, have impact too. I mean, like one person do the mistakes, but all of their family have to do the consequences. And what is the best punish criminals? I think the best way to punish criminals is we can elaborate between imprisonment and capital punishment. For the imprisonment, we can take it them to the prison, maybe like sit for their mistakes, and for the capital punishment we can take it if they do the mistakes in the capital thing. I mean, like maybe they do the corruptions or something, we can take it because that is Indonesians uh, Indonesians capital that they corrupt. So I think we can take it from them.
Okay,
And
thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Rani. So, so you prefer the combinations of imprisonment and capital punishment as the best way to punish criminals. So, do you think for people who has been sent to the imprisonment and when they went out, they keep doing the same thing? Do you think that there is something wrong with the model of the imprisonment in Indonesia?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I think this imprisonment is back to the personality of the citizens that taken in the imprisonment. I think if they can they can evaluate themselves and they can improve themselves in the imprisonment, they will not do it anymore. But in this case, I think they can, or they cannot evaluate themselves, and they just like be more, what is it like, if I am criminals, maybe I think when I am out of this out of prison, I will do the next criminal. So that is the crucial one, and I think their society or their conditions is take a part to make them have to do that. So it's not just because one condition, but I think there is so many things that make them have to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. Bu Hasti?
Thank you. No more question from me. You can leave the room.
Okay.
Thank you, Rani. Good luck.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am and sir.
Yes, yeah. Oke, satu lagi.
Kelompok kita yang paling banyak, yang lainnya 6, kita sendiri yang 7.
Iya.
Makanya wes Maria wes. Good morning, Icha.
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you please introduce yourselves?
Okay. Good morning, judges and the adjudicators. Let me introduce myself. My name is Icha Sivana Berbangun from Marketing Management Diploma Program, the State University of Malang. Originally, I am from Binjai, but currently I stay at Malang for my internship and complete my study.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you please present your paper for 3 minutes?
Am I present my PowerPoint, ma'am?
No, you don't have to. You just need to talk.
About my paper?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, my paper is about creative placemaking, that an evolution to bring changes for creative economic in Indonesia, and to be for getting a sustainability citizenship. First of all, from data in Kemenparekraf website, there's by economic creative is one of way to be improve the development of economic in Indonesia. Creative economic itself nowadays bring until 17 million workers by this program, this economic creative. Now, economic creative it's not just about theory, but now economic creative bring more impact to society, especially society in urban educators. And then what I bring in my paper is about creative placemaking. This creative placemaking is a concept or approach about that bring the role of art, government, and the community to create a better economic creative ecosystem, dear educators. So I will give an example, like in Bandung City and Jakarta City, there's a creative space that made by this creative placemaking. Its name M Block Space in Block M Jakarta, and the hallway space in Bandung City, especially in Kosambi Market. So in this creative space is actually a space for the economic creative workers that having a business to build their business by implement the creative industry. This creative space located in public spaces that is in unusual public space, dear educators, like Kosambi Market, like the hallway space in Bandung City is located in Kosambi Market, that this place already abandoned for more than 15 years. So by this creative space that implement creative placemaking concept, bring up to 1,500 visitors in a days to come to this creative place and creative space and enjoying the creative business that by the society, that built by the community, especially from youth community. So by this implementation of creative placemaking, people that come to this place will more inspired by the creative placemaking itself, ladies and gentlemen, because they will see, oh, creativity is very fanciful. Like we have to implement creativity in our life. So people or visitor will get inspired, and then they will think further than now. So they will implement the creativity into their lives, and these things in this space, there will in this space will create a more sustainable citizen, especially in urban.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Wasti, any question?
Okay. So what is the plan in the short term?
Sorry, ma'am.
What is your plan in the short term? How do you implement that?
Okay, first of all, I already create this paper. So this paper, I hope this paper can educate people, educate readers about creative placemaking, and also my action to implement these things is by campaigns in social media. As we know, in our digital era, we need to campaigns in social media, and so on and so far. So for the short term, I will campaigns about creativity, about how important economic creative itself.
Okay, thank you. My question would be, how do you think this plan will be feasible? How likely the economic industry actors would be willing to participate in joining like the economic creativity spaces you mentioned?
Okay, thank you for the question, sir. As we know, economic creative is a sustainable business. Is a sustainable business in this era. So the actors will see the opportunity about this kind of tools of business. As we know, like if we see this in SDGs issue, this could be more sustainable, sir. As we know, SDGs is the blueprint that tools for business leadership. So by doing the economic creative, by create an economic creative ecosystem, there would be sustainable business for them. So I think it will bring prosperity for their lives. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We are going to go to part 2. So you will have one topic and you can think about the answers in 1 minute and present it in 3 minutes. I guess you can start now.
Okay. I think this topic is related to the SDGs number 15 about life on land. Like, yeah, it's about between people and land. From my perspective, people and land is inherently interconnected each other. So we need to maintain the sustainable about the land. For example, like forest, plant a tree and help protect the environment is one thing that we need to do to maintain the harmony between us and land itself, between us and land. We cannot live without oxygen. We cannot live without it. So also plants such as tree and insects or etc. that live in the forest will will need our help to protect them from the people that not responsibility about this term. And as the Aldo Leopold said, conversation is a state of harmony between man and land. I think it's about how we as human can protect the land, and how we as human know how important the land is, and what action can we do for this to keep this harmony between us as human and land. I think this also we can do this. We can protect this land by little things like use eco-friendly products, or like we save energy at home, and like don't zero waste, and so on and so forth. So I think we as human need to aware about how we can live without this natural this kind of natural things. So I think forest or land is our home, so we need to keep it as how we protect ourselves. We have to protect land because it's our home, and there's other things that live in there, not just we as human. There's insects, there's animals, there's plants, there's a lot of things that we need to protect, and I think it's a good things and it's a great things as a new agent of SDGs to protect them. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so what have you done in terms of taking part in natural conservation?
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for the question. I actually already joining volunteering in this issue. I joining Hutan Itu Indonesia, and I join Generasi Bebas Plastik. So by joining this volunteering activities, I campaigned about how important forest, and I learned a lot of things about why we should protect forests, why we should protect our environment, why it's very important for us and for others. That's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Over to you, Pak Nanang.
No question for me, ma.
Okay, thank you so much. You can go back to the main room.
Okay,
Thank
thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Good luck, Ifcha.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Stop recording, Pak Nanang.